Hello, hello. Give me a sec. Hey. Hey, everyone. Gotta stop this awesome music now so you can hear some of my dodgy playing. Thank you for joining me. Just waiting for a few people to get online. I'm Ruben Cornell. I am host of the weekly podcast and YouTube show, The Samplecast, which rather annoyingly has been off air for a few weeks at the moment due to circumstances beyond my control, unfortunately. But I'm here and I'm going to give a go to this fantastic bundle from Impact Soundworks. Got my whiteboard of things to do here. Get that out of the way because I'm all yours for the next hour or so. If you're just joining me, then I am on the Samplecast website on the live page, samplecast.com/live, and I'm also on YouTube. And if you go on the YouTube stream, you can chat to me and send me ideas of things to play and what you want to hear and things that you want to see these libraries do, because they're pretty cool. I've managed to get my little Stream Deck thing set up so I can flick between various pages and give you all a headache by cutting backwards and forwards. But let's get to the main event. These 5 libraries from Impact Soundworks are currently 70% off with audio plugin deals. I'm pretty familiar with them because I actually, for a start, I have them all and I use them all. But also I was asked by Andrew over at Impact Soundworks to do the walkthrough video for the Bansuri library, which is a fantastic one. I'm a big fan of the tin whistle, and the other ones are all great as well. Basically, you can get them all now for 70% off, which is flicking through to the audio plugin deals page, $149.99 dollars. So it's good. It's a big bargain. Had a lot of requests over the last couple of weeks when this offer's been on to put together some kind of walkthrough or something like that, so I thought I'd jump on the live stream and take some comments and queries and sort of go through a few things for you guys. So I'm going to be demoing all the libraries. If you haven't watched a Samplecast live stream before, then I do try and give something a little extra as well. So I got in touch with Andrew and Dickie over at Impact Soundworks, and they have kindly given me 5 Impact Soundworks vouchers to give away. And basically, I shall tell you how that goes on throughout the show. But anyone who's in the live chat, get over to the YouTube Samplecast site, get in the live chat, and basically I'll be drawing out random numbers, and you guys are going to have to guess the numbers, and I'll be giving away $50 vouchers. So worth sticking around to get hold of those. I don't know, every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, probably be doing a voucher draw, and then you can use those on the Impact Soundworks site on anything you like. I don't think there's any minimum spend or anything like that, so pretty nice. Sample Hound is here looking after the vouchers, and we'll get on with that as we go along. So I'll give you a little intro to the libraries. If you're interested in picking up these libraries, I think you've only got 2 days to do it at the discounted price, the 70% off price. If you click the link in the description below, then that'll take you straight through to the audio plugin deals website, where you can get hold of the libraries and then you can redeem them over at Impact Soundworks. All the instructions are on there. Basically click the link in the description below, you'll get the gist. So I've got the Bansuri loaded up here, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing with things as we go along. I've been having a bit of weirdness with the OBS broadcasting software because it forced me to do an update, which I did not want to do. You know what it's like. And yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to see how things are working. I've got the 5 libraries here: Bansuri, Ocarinas, pan flutes, shakuhachi and tin whistle. and many of these libraries, they all run in the full version of Contact, by the way. Many of these libraries have more than one patch. They've often got phrases, they've often got the playable instruments as well, and some of them have bonuses, like the Bansuri has sitar and tambura sounds as well. For the ocarinas, there's different ocarinas. There's 1, 2, 3 different ones. The pan flutes, there's a couple of different ones. The normal one and the bass. And the tin whistle has different kind of legato options, romantic legato. Anyway, I'm going to go through all that at some point. But if there's anything particularly you want to see or you want to hear, do let me know, and I will do my best to go through things. Just checking the comments now and again. Where was the source music in the intro from? It was from the Impact Soundworks demo pages. Really good. I love the tracks on there. The Will Bedford ones are great in particular. I love his style of writing. And yeah, just go on the Audio Plugin Deals website, link in the description below. There's a huge SoundCloud list of all the demos, and they work pretty good. They make things sound rather nice. Also, let me know about levels as we go through, because I want to make sure that I'm playing the right kind of stuff and you can actually hear it. That would obviously be handy. So, of course, just as I'm about to begin, my Contact keyboard craps out. These complete control keyboards are cool, but occasionally they get a bit lost, don't they? Tony, at work, can someone tell me how to enter so he doesn't have to repeat it? Yeah, I'll be going through the show. I'll be drawing numbers. We're gonna do that now, actually. I'll do one. Don't know why you can't see my cursor on Contact. Isn't that weird? You can't see my mouse. That's going to be a little bit difficult. I'll try and figure that out as we go along. But yeah, let me give away one of those vouchers first. So, basically on these bits of paper here, I've got written numbers between 1 and 1,000. And when I say go, you're going to get into the chat and you're going to give us a number, just one number each, please. And I'll give you 10, 15 seconds or so. Whoever's closest in those numbers, we're going to give you the $50 voucher from Impact Soundworks. So let me have a little play of the Bansuri and guess a number between 1 and 1,000, and I'll give you 20 seconds or so to do that. As I give this a little play, I'm going to turn the aftertouch flutter on. Off you go, guess your numbers. Going to play some of the ornaments. Ornaments. Only one guess each, please. And stop. Enough guesses. Stop. There's a bit of latency on YouTube streaming, so I'll give it a sec to see those numbers coming in. Oh my goodness, everybody's going crazy with the guesses. Thanks everybody for joining us, by the way. This is very cool of you to give up your time and come and join me. Okay, let's see what the number is. 767. 767. I'm going to just quickly scroll back, see who's the closest. 767. I think it might be Alan. Let's see. I think it's Alan. I reckon it's Alan. So if we all agree it's Alan, please drop me an email, thesamplecast@gmail.com. That's thesamplecast@gmail.com. I will rush you a $50 voucher as soon as I can after the show. 70. Who's arguing? Who's arguing about the numbers? It is Alan. It's definitely Alan. So Alan, yeah, drop me a shout after the show. So yeah, let's get on with having a look at these. This is the main Bansuri patch, which, as I said, there's a number of different patches. There's phrases in the Bansuri and there's normal Bansuri. I'm going to whip through some of these examples pretty quickly because there's loads of things to get through, loads of sounds to get through, loads of instruments. And yeah, so this is how all of the Ventus instruments are laid out. You've got the waveform on the right hand side, and the left hand side is for the ornaments and the key switches and things like that. You've got microphones at the bottom with the close and room mics. They've both been sampled with those. Just give you a listen actually. If I turn off the reverb, so there's an effects panel. There's also an articulations mapping panel as well. That's the room. And the close mics. So they've all been sampled pretty dry, all these instruments. You can't see my cursor, can you? That is going to be a bit of a pain, I think. Let me know if it's going to be annoying for you not to see the cursor. I don't know what this new OBS update is playing at, but it doesn't appear to show the cursors on the individual windows. So maybe I'm going to be doing a lot of playing and not a lot of pointing. But let's get into it. Just checking out the messages here. Everybody's arguing about the winner. I always have this. I haven't worked out a way of doing it better. But yeah, people make their guesses, and then I always have a little argument in there. Yeah, no latecomers. No latecomers to the quizzes, to the guesses, because otherwise it's not fair on everybody. I do give a little bit of leeway. So yeah, I'm going to have a listen to the Bansuri phrases. While I try and get this cursor thing working out. The phrases are categorised into arps and runs. You can see they're on the left hand side, arps and runs, longs, mediums, shorts and unique notes, and they're all operated on key switches at the bottom of the keyboard. These are the ups and runs. There's hundreds of these phrases. The cool thing about these is you can adjust the start times of all of the phrases. I'm pulling it with my mouse cursor, but you can't see my mouse cursor. Oh. These are some of the longs. Literally just play them on the keyboard. You can adjust the attack, decay, sustain and release on the bottom there. You've got transposing as well. You can transpose up and down 12 semitones. Obviously if you go really far it starts to sound a bit crazy. You've got fine tuning on the bottom there as well. Don't forget these are all being run through that reverb. So here's some of the shorts. Don't forget this is just the Bansuri. This is one of the 5 instruments, and this is just the phrases. Vincent says, I like how it shows the waveform of the library. I like how it shows the waveform of the sample that's playing. I wish more libraries did that. Yes, Impact Soundworks do that with a lot of their libraries actually. The vocal one that's just come out, pretty cool. Yeah, I love the way it does that. You can see how long the phrases are and cut into them. It's especially handy with the longs, obviously. You might just want like the end section. So that's some of the phrases. Let me just quickly flick back to the playable instrument. I've got them on my external disk at the moment, so they're taking a little while to load because they're not on an SSD. So I want to run over the ornament system. It works the same in all of the libraries, but basically on the main page here you've got attacks and releases. Oh, this this thing with the not showing the cursor is really getting on my nerves. If you can bear with me, guys, for just 2 minutes, I'll tell you what. Let me play some of the demos. If you can bear with me for just 2 minutes, I will try and capture the window in a different way so that it shows the cursor, because otherwise it's just going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Here we go. Let's play some of those demos again. Just bear with me. I'll see if I can get that cursor working. Don't know why OBS suddenly had to annoy me by updating. You know what? If I just capture the whole display, maybe that'll work. Whoa, craziness. Craziness. But can you see the cursor? Yes, you can. Good. Okay. Give me a sec. There we go. I got it. I got it. Fab. What a nightmare. You know what, I try and organise these in advance for people so it's all seamless and streamless, but never works, does it? Absolutely bananas. Another lovely demo. Yes, we've got some cursor action. Is that better? Can you see it, everybody? Tell me in the live chat. Sorry about that. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Ornaments, hooray. Hopefully you should be able to see this all okay. Thanks, Tony, for letting me know. You've got different styles of sustains. It shows them all in the articulation menu here. This looks awfully complicated, but it really isn't. And actually, you don't need to go into it too much if you just want to do some kind of performance playing, but it's there. I'll cover it a little bit later. You've got different sustains. These are mostly on the red keys at the bottom here. You've got ornaments, which you can either program in yourself with key switches or controllers, or there's a very cool system here which basically plays ornaments a percentage chance of the time. So let's just turn everything off for a moment, and let's say I wanted to have a kind of tongued ornament at the start of a note. So you've got a percentage chance that that will play. In this case it's 100%, and that is a percentage basis of this big wheel here. So basically if it's 100% here but it's minimum here, it won't play at all. If this is maximum, then you'll get a tongued ornament every time you hit a key. Not super obvious, that one, so let's do a staccato. Oh, hang on. A long, because I'm playing longs. Is that going to work for me? The bends work, there we go. And it's on the beginning of a note, so if I'm playing legato, it won't put a bend on everything, because I'm joining the notes, but at the beginning it will. That's 100% of the time, but you can get things a lot more realistic by kind of dialing in, you know, 20% bends, 30% ornaments, that sort of thing. And obviously you can trigger these all yourself with key switches and things as well. But the ornament system I really love. There's also a percentage chance on the releases as well. Bends down, bends up, that sort of thing. Bends down on the Bansuri are just lovely, really. It kind of tails off. Bear in mind I'm not a winds player by any stretch of the imagination. So you see how that works. So basically the large dial here is for kind of total percentage of ornaments played, and then out of that total percentage you've got the attacks and releases, and you can turn those on and off, that sort of thing. I'm going to turn up the instrument a bit. So let me just come out of the Bansuri for a minute, and there's an extra patch, the sitar and tambura drones. They're good little kind of accompanying drones to go with the Bansuri. People saying that they couldn't hear the Bansuri before, but I've turned it up a bit now. Also, I forgot to mention that key switches here at the bottom are for endings as well, and you've also got breath key switches. You almost definitely can't hear those because they're very quiet. Somebody wants to hear the flutes. Flutes? Pan flutes. Okie dokie. We'll do the pan flutes. Instruments you've got here with the pan flutes. Phrases. Both the Time Machine Pro versions, which you can change the speed of the phrases, and the normal phrases. And you've also got the normal pan flute and the bass pan flute as well. So let me kick off with some of the phrases. Just let them load up. And again, similar to the Bansuri, close and room mics. You've got a variety of FX, of which the reverb is kind of automatically selected. ADSR can actually show you now the cursor thing is coming on okay. Transposing and fine tuning as well. There's some really crazy sort of runs and arps. These are the longs. And these all play at one speed, but there's Time Machine Pro patches as well. I'll load these up actually, they'll probably be alright with my system. As I say, obviously the system's trying to do a lot of things at the same time. It's trying to broadcast and do webcamming and all of that stuff. So it's struggling a bit on my system. Never have any problems though normally. So you can adjust the speed of these just with this slider here. So you can make it fit your project. Nakami Media says, I've been researching and needing to demo this all week. I need this. You'd be surprised how much you use it actually. I use that tin whistle in almost everything. Well, not everything. Maybe 50% of stuff I do. It's a very cool tin whistle. It's really nice tone. I'll come on to that later. So as I say, there's that speed dial there. You've got dynamics on the slider there. You can assign that to whatever you want. Obviously mod wheel or whatever you want to. So I know that some of the composers that have been putting stuff together for the VENTUS series, they like to have some performance samples, and they like to pepper the phrases in there as well, especially the kind of unique notes that you can't play easily. And the shorts are very convincing. They're all performance samples basically, so completely authentic. That's the high pan flute. Let's have a play with the low pan flute. Performance patch. And this is the key switch is slightly different on there, down at the bottom of the keyboard. Sorry, the playable range is at the bottom of the keyboard. Key switch is at the top because it's the instrument is lower. It's a very unique sound. And this is with no instruments, no ornaments. Don't half get tongue-tied doing these things. Staccato. Tongued version of that. These little sort of chuffy effects. Because with panpipes, when you play, when one plays, I can't play the panpipes, but you, as well as playing the melody, you sort of keep a rhythm with these little sort of breaths and things in between. It's going to be hard for me to play that live. It's the sort of thing you'd be better off to program. Very difficult to play live just because there's lots of key switching around. So there are different attack and release ornaments. Again, you operate that by percentages, or you can trigger them with the articulation mapping just there. Tom Carlson says, it's a selling video to sell a bundle. I'm pretty sure the review will be awesome. Otherwise, they don't sell a bundle. Winky face. Well, yeah, but I don't do any live streams for products that I don't like. I like these. I use these. I like to think the Samplecast is a pretty independent voice on things. So yeah, I don't throw my weight behind anything that's cruddy, to be quite honest. And anyone who's got Impact SOUNDWORKS libraries will know they are far from cruddy. They are very good, very usable, very flexible. These are the phrases for the bass pan flute. Nice stuff. I will go into the articulations on one of the other instruments. Let's give away some money first though. Okay, I've got another number here. It's between 1 and 1,000. If you didn't manage to get the instructions last time, I'll run them over again. Basically, in a sec, I am going to give you 20 seconds or so to guess the number. Everybody gets one guess who's in the chat. If you're watching the live stream somewhere else, go onto YouTube, watch it with the chat engaged so that you can log in and you can make a guess. You've got to guess a number between 1 and 1,000. Then I'm going to reveal it, and whoever guesses right is going to win $50 worth of vouchers from Impact SOUNDWORKS. So get ready. I'm going to load some Tin Whistle up and play some Tin Whistle while I do this. Get ready to make your guesses. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Number between 1 and 1,000. One guess each. Somebody guessed 0.5 then. Alright, 3, 2, 1. And stop guessing. Stop. I'll give the chat a sec to catch up. And then I'm going to reveal all. Here we go. So, the magic number this time. 97. Who got 97? Oh, Yellow Mix got 101. Is there anyone closer than that? Let's see. Anyone closer than 101? Nah, it is Yellow Mix. Cool name, Yellow Mix. Yellow Mix, email me, thesamplecast@gmail.com, and I'll send you your $50 voucher after the show. Thesamplecast@gmail.com. Well done. So yeah, these are the tin whistle samples. I love the tin whistle. I think the demo, which was done by Will Bedford, is so incredible. Such a good example of what this can do, and he uses one of the songs. There's quite a lot of sort of long sampled songs here. There's loads, hundreds of these. Goes all the way across the keyboard. Let me play a little snippet of Will Bedford's amazing demo, because I love it. I think this is incredible work. It actually shows really nicely what you can do with a kind of dry tone as well. It doesn't all need to be epic. Anyway, I love how that goes. Really nice demo. And yeah, what he does is he takes some of the songs, he's using a lot of the close mic, turning off, or rather turning down the reverb. And then he's mirroring some of the phrases that you've got in the phrase version of the library with one of the legatos. I couldn't tell you which it is, but there's an agile legato for kind of quick playing, and romantic legato as well for more kind of slow, lethargic lines. Let me get this working. Nice stuff. So again, the ornaments, you can turn up that dial here. You can get the ornaments set up with their kind of randomization chances, and then these ornaments will kick in automatically. I think it's really nice to have the reverb set up on the whistle. Also delay, I think, works quite well. Jason says, if I want to purchase three licenses, can I do that under one account, or will I need 3 accounts? I don't know. You'll have to check the licensing agreement over at the Impact Soundworks website. Just see what that says. So I want to show you a couple of things on the tin whistle with the dynamics, vibrato and flutter controls. Flutter you can set to a CC, so I could have it on a foot pedal, for example. just turn it off on the vibrato. Stop. Or you can assign it to Aftertouch. Now, not a lot of libraries I have use Aftertouch for anything, so it's very cool that this one does. You just press, if your MIDI controller does it, some don't, you just press harder on the key after you've put it down, and you'll get that flutter effect. And vibrato you can control in a number of different ways. There's different types of vibrato as well, smooth fingered breath, or you can control that by aftertouch. So if I just remove the aftertouch on flutter, do it on the vibrato instead. Yeah, how nice that is. As I say, there's also the romantic legato patch from the same directory. A slower kind of feel. Someone wanted me to play Lord of the Rings before, and then as soon as they said that, I had a brain block. Couldn't think of how to play it. I'll give you a blast of just the room and just the close on the tin whistle, just so you get a good idea. Don't forget, if you want to check out more features about this library, just click the link in the description below. That'll take you through to the deal page where you can have a look at the deal, and then you can go through to the individual product pages on the Impact Soundworks website. Let me play some little ornaments as well. It's not just legato on these, loads of other articulations too. That's room. Close is this. Got double tonguing, bends, all sorts of things. But obviously, whack on a bit of reverb, maybe a bit of delay. Fanny is your aunt. Why are people still guessing numbers? The number game is finished for now. We'll do another one in a minute. Let me show you a couple of other things as well. On this, you've got breaths. You've also got lots of different endings too. And connecting notes. Some of these yellow keys here are connecting notes to kind of play the same note again, but put a little bit of a cut or a sort of swallow in between the notes. Turn that delay off a little bit so you can hear what's going on. And you've also got micro-tuning options. Some of these instruments, especially the more kind of oriental ones, microtuning is your friend. So you can play in different keys, or rather you can set the microtuning up to different keys. If I was playing in A, for example, and then you can very subtly adjust the tuning of the notes. You could do it manually, or you could look up, to see what the notes actually are in that particular culture. Lots of fun with that. Tin whistles, Celtic sort of thing, so microtuning not quite so important for that. But with something like the Bansuri or the Shakuhachi, yeah, you're going to be using that. So let's have a listen to the Shakuhachi. Here we are. Again, a few different patches. That's the normal. That's the normal Shakuhachi patch. There's a performance version of it, pentatonic one, which only has a few different keys, and then the phrases as well. I'll load that up, and then we'll do a giveaway while I play it a bit. Okay, so next number, kids. Gosh, lots of people watching. Laura Taylor says, I have this one already. What do you think? What do you think of it, Laura? Is it good? Is it useful? What do you use it for? Let me know. This is a number between 1 and 1,000. You're going to have 20 seconds to guess what it is. Go to the YouTube chat to do so. And I'm going to put it just here and play some Shakuhachi. Ready, set, guess your numbers now. Playing all the black notes makes it sound oriental. What a cheat. 3, 2, 1. And stop with the number guessing. Stop, stop, stop. Let's see where we're at. A little time for the live chat to catch up, as usual. I wonder if I can do some sort of low latency mode to fix that. Probably my internet will decide to die if I do that. Red Room Audio in the chat. Hey, Red Room Audio. You do cool stuff. Go and check it out. redroomaudio.com, probably. The number is, stop guessing. The number is the magic number. This is the magic number. 302 is the magic number. Who's got it? Oh god, there's so many. Demetrius, you guessed loads of times. You're only allowed one guess. So stop with that. You're out of this round. 302, 302, who's got it? 279 said Tyler. 2, 3, Yannick, I think it is, with 322. Oh no, Sniff 2298. I reckon it's Sniff. If anyone tells me otherwise, no, Sniff Wonderland guessed 298, and the number was 302. So I reckon Sniff is the winner of that one. Sniff, do drop me an email, thesamplecast@gmail.com. You'll get your $50 to spend on anything in the Impact Soundworks store. So the Shakuhachi is probably my second favourite one of all these instruments. And it's just because it's got a really lovely tone. The little ornaments and things are really cute as well. You can trigger the emotive sustains, repetitions, the grace notes. Let's put some random numbers in there. It's probably going to sound really odd. I like the grace notes especially. And you've got several round robins on these as well, so even with the grace notes and the sustains, at least 2 or 3 I think with most of these instruments. And you can see they're different because you can actually see the different waveforms, so there's no, oh, you know, we did loads of round robins and actually we've got no chance to prove it. They are different waveforms. You can see them in the display, so you can see that they're different different notes, different samples that are playing. See how that goes. I said I was going to touch on the articulation menu. I don't want to scare anybody, that's the thing. The articulation menu here is so flexible and you can do a lot with it. But I will say that, it looks a little bit techy at first glance. Basically what it means is that you can take any articulation, any kind of release, pretty much anything that the instrument can do, and you can assign it to anything else. So you would normally be able to play just with the sustain, and that's set up to play with velocity, and that will play through all velocities from 1 to 27. But equally you could set it to key switch, you could set it to MIDI CC, you could set it to the pedal. So for example, pedal up is one kind of articulation, pedal down is another. You can pretty much make it match whatever other libraries you have, or however you prefer to play. And that's the case with all of the different articulations. You can also change the offset, the global offset of the samples. You can mess about with the controls for dynamics. You can have more than one rule, so you could choose with velocity and key switches. All sorts of things there. Donny Grace says, all my notes are Grace notes. That might be the winning gag of the live stream. Thank you, Donny. Yeah, as I say, you can pretty much adjust all of these different articulations to whatever you want them to do. You can disable them. You can assign them to whatever you like, and you could also set different kinds of presets as well. So if you set up your Shakuhachi one way and you want the tin whistle to work that way as well, that is what you can do. You can save it in one, load it in the other one. So as I say, I'm not going to go into this kind of craziness, but there are lots of articulations with each of these instruments, and you can see exactly which ones are which without having to really open the manual and have a look, just by clicking the articulations. And then if they're not available on the key switches at the bottom here for whatever reason, although most of them are, then you can assign them via key switch assignments just here. So you could change the assignment of the repeated note, A all the way down, figure it out, work out a system that works for you, and then save it and use it every single time, so you're not going to be confused. Donald Olafson says, I used the Bansuri on a little hybrid thing the other week. Can link if that's alright. Work in progress. Yeah, sure. If you can stick a link in there, maybe people want to have a listen to see what you can do with things. Those are the controls for the Shakuhachi performance. As I say, there's a pentatonic version of this instrument which just plays certain notes. So if you were to go up the scale with your finger, like you would, play a harp, you've got breaths as well. It's very breathy. Let's have a listen to the phrases. These are lovely. I adore these, and there's absolutely tons of them. There's so many that it runs over more than one set of key switches. So, shorts. Erin Brito says, how many dynamic layers? I am not sure with the performance ones how many dynamic layers there are. It may say on the Impact Soundworks website or in the manual. Do have a little look at that. I forgot to say, with the playback engine that runs the phrases, you can play with the sample offsets, as I said before, but you can also play with the direction. You can play backwards and forwards, so you can do, which with some of these instruments actually, because you've got the reverb and they're quite tonally, they're not that super complex. They're just playing one note. You can play them backwards and it actually sounds pretty cool. almost realistic. Almost. You've also got a bounce option for kind of ping pong play if you want to use that. Let's have a listen to some bends. Aaron says, do you think the same / similar results like the phrases can be achieved with the playable patches? Yeah, but I would use a combination of the two. For your main melodies and things, I'd use the playable patches, and then dip into the phrases for little embellishments and things that are beyond the scope of the ornaments that the sort of multi-sample patches will do. David's found that he can't post links in the chat. Sorry about that, David. But maybe point people to your website. Just tell people what it's called. If it's on there, your tune. It'd be cool to hear it. There's a lot of trills with the Shakuhachi. These are the sort of things, you know, quite difficult to do with the performance mode, but they're right there with the phrases, and of course you can transpose them as well to your particular key of your track. There's a lot of stuff here. I can't remember what these individual libraries sold for initially, but they were not 70% off, and yeah, you get 5 of these instruments. Pretty cool. Head to the link in the description below if you're interested. Right, what haven't I covered yet? Let's have a listen to the ocarinas. That's the last one that I haven't covered, but there's quite a few. There's 3 different ocarinas. So you've got playable patches for each one, and you've got phrases as well for each one. So let's start with the Costa Rican Ocarina. How often does Impact Soundworks do this type of deal, says D? I have not seen 70% off on the VENTUS series ever, even individually or bundles. So I would say Impact Soundworks do this type of deal hardly ever / never. They've just done they've just finished a sale, their kind of summer sale, but the summer sale prices were, from memory, I think like 30% to 50%, something like that. You know, not 70%. Impact Sound audio plugin deals do these crazy deals just for a very limited time. You're not going to find this again, I shouldn't think, not anytime soon. Let's have a listen to this ocarina. I actually played an ocarina when I was a kid. They don't have a very large range, but they're a lovely kind of sound. Lovely stuff. Let's have a listen to some of the different articulations just for the hell of it. Sustain normals. Actually, let's turn all the ornaments and that off. Accented sustains. Sustain tongued. Flutter attacks. Is there anyone from Impact Soundworks on the chat? Because Aaron wants to know about the dynamic layers. I don't think there's too many dynamic layers on these. Might only even just be one, because some kind of like fancy filtering and dynamics going on. Because, you know, with wind instruments, it's either most of the time you play it or you don't. If you don't blow it hard enough, it doesn't make any noise. Bends. slow bends and fast bends. Trills. Staccatos. Accented staccatos. You can do different releases as well. Pitch drops. And with those, it's a case of holding the key switch before you release the note on your right hand. So that's how that works. I haven't gone through all the articulations of all the different instruments. It would take absolutely ages to do that. It'd be pretty crazy. But that gives you an idea of the wide range of ones with just this particular one ocarina, of the 3 ocarinas, of the 5 different libraries. As I say, you can always nip into the articulation mapping screen here and have a look, see what the options are as well. Shall we try the triple ocarina? Yeah. Wider range on this one. This is basically, I think, from recollection, this is some of the ocarinas combined. I might have to double check the manual on that. Let me have a look. Ocarina manual. Triple ocarina is the default patch for the instrument, highly playable out of the box. All phrases playable. Does it combine the other ones? I'm not going to look through the manual forever and ever to find out, but I think that is the default one with the widest range. The triple ocarina is a multi-chambered ocarina with a broad range of about 2 octaves plus a fifth. Oh, okay, maybe it's just one ocarina. It's got a very big range in it though. Nice. You've also got that flutter on there. Vibrato as well. Cool stuff. The ocarina phrases, should we have a listen to those? Let's do some triple ocarina phrases. Okay. Could you tell us what happens if you turn off the waveform display? I think it's unnecessary for playable patches. Yeah, you can turn it off. Since I'm here to answer questions, I will show you that. While it loads. Waveform display off. That's literally what happens. It turns off. That's your answer, Aaron. Matthias says the Shakuhachi manual only says multiple dynamics. Then I cannot enlighten you, I'm afraid. Interesting questions coming through actually. Tony Connolly says, can you define deep sampling? Searched before but no luck. Now deep sampling, as far as I'm concerned, isn't a technical term in terms of sampling. It's not to do with bits, it's not to do with lengths of samples, anything like that. It's more to do with how much is sampled of an instrument. So for me, if I look at something that says it's deep sampled, I'm expecting multiple dynamics, multiple round robins, multiple articulations, playable legato, at pretty much a bare minimum. Anything else on top of that is a bonus. But I mean, Tony, you know, I've dealt with sample library companies for a long time, and one company's idea of deep sampling could be very different to another's. So, you know, there's that. It's that kind of phrase that you take with a bit of a pinch of salt when you're reading marketing blurb. You need to go in if you're really interested in the dynamics and the articulations and things like that. You need to go in and have a look and see what's happening, either with the information that the library company are giving you, or you can literally, you know, go into the actual guts of the mapping editor and have a look and see what's happening if you've got the instrument. I would say that these are the Ventus instruments are a very good example of something that's deep sample, because you have got a lot of articulations on the performance patches. You've got a lot of round robins as well. You can see the round robins because of the waveform display. So if I play, you know, staccatos, if I can find them, you're seeing the waveform display change each time. You've got at least 3 or 4 on there, and that's for each note. So you're not going to get that machine gun effect that everybody hates. In the chat, Redrum Audio says the number of dynamic layers varies per instrument based on how many were needed to achieve the most realistic sound. For example, most instruments in the whistle family really only do one dynamic. Yeah, as I said, either you blow it or you don't. Most of the flute family benefit from the different amounts of breath per dynamic, so we recorded 2 for those. Yeah, that's Dickie from Red Room Audio, who is also part of Impact Soundworks. They're sort of twin companies. Anyway, so yeah, deep sampling, that is my take on it. And yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments if you agree or disagree with me on that one. Probably most people agree on that, but you never know. You never know. The ornaments on this Ocarina, they're pretty nice. Every time I hear an Ocarina, it reminds me of Ocarina of Time from on Nintendo, on the Legend of Zelda, and there is a very nice little kind of tribute to the Ocarina of Time. One of the demos, is it this one? Yeah. This was done by Andrew Aversa, head honcho of Impact Soundworks. Love it. That is nice stuff. Very nostalgic. You know, I'm 40 now, can you believe? And a lot of my youth was spent playing Ocarina of Time. That's the sort of thing which really gets my nostalgia wings flying. But not so much that I can actually play it. So there we go. So as I say, 3 different ocarinas in there. A couple of pan flutes. Bansuri with extensions with an extra patch as well of sitar and tambura. and Shakuhachi and tin whistle with different types of legato. You get a huge amount of stuff there. You know, in terms of playability, these are top notch. I'm going to answer some questions. I'll do that in a sec. Let me do one of my little vouchers first, and then I'll cover some stuff. I know there's some latecomers coming in and asking some questions about bits and bobs. So, yeah. Let's have your guesses. This is a number between 1 and 1,000. Guess in the chat on the YouTube channel, and I'll give you 10 seconds or so to do that and try and play some nice Ocarina to you while you guess. Ready, steady, go. Guess your numbers between 1 and 1,000. We turn that flutter on. Keep guessing. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop guessing. Stop. Let's see what it is. I'm going to look at it first. I'm going to look at it so that I can scroll back and have a look so there's not a huge delay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so many people watching and guessing. It is 464, which is the closest guess of... I think it's David Suisson. Unless anyone wants to correct me. Somebody have a look. See if it's David Suisson. He guessed... what did he guess? I've lost it now. I'm pretty sure it's him. Let's see, the number was 464. He guessed 479. Yeah. It is. David, please give me a shout on the samplecast at gmail.com and I will send you that voucher for $50. Well done. Congrats. All right. Let me run down some of the questions that are being asked on the stream. Okay. I kind of jumped in late, says David Suisson, who just won. You jumped in late, but that was a good time to jump in. Sorry if this has been addressed. While the phrases, articulations, etc. are great, what about raw sounds for creating my own phrases? So, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by raw sounds, but... all of the instruments here, the Ventus instruments, have sustains, staccatos, that kind of thing. You can choose to have them as sort of playable instruments with linked legato phrasing because the legato is turned on in the articulation mapping, but you can also turn that off. You can nix the legato completely. You could play literally just staccatos if you wanted to. You can, let me just see whether you can take the samples out. They're in NCW format, the samples, so you're going to have to run them through Contact to get at them. But yeah, you can filter things down in Contact with the engine to such an extent that you can really just play those individual samples if you want to. There are WAV samples of the phrases. So that is possible to play just the phrases. Oops. And you can pull them out into your own DAW. Just use those how you want to. Pretty much everything is there. That is the Bansuri in that case. I'm pretty sure that is the same with everything else is it as well. Yeah, the tin whistle, as I say, WAV files that you can just pull out. There's a lot. They're all categorized quite well. I mean, you've got you know, shorts, mediums, longs, songs. If you want to, you know, pull out those song phrases from the tin whistle, go for your life. Let's see. So yeah, in answer to your question, you could just use those WAV samples if you want to. I mean, even, you know, for the money, regardless of the Contact instrument, which you need the full version of Contact for. I know most people have that, but it's worth saying. You've got a huge collection of WAV samples involved in all of this as well. Not too sure how. Let me see what the size is of everything. Now it's now I've unpacked everything, because I actually set up a folder just for these. Right, the Ventus series with those 5 instruments is 30 gigabytes in size. So yeah, 30 gigabytes of samples for not a lot of money. Basically, it's as I say, 100 and, well, on the right side of $150. So it's definitely worth having a look at. Something I personally recommend. If you're lucky enough to get one of those Impact SOUNDWORKS vouchers, you can also, you know, spend that on something from Impact SOUNDWORKS. I'll say not on this bundle because it's already 70% off. But if you go to the link in the description below, you'll be able to see the details. So yeah, I'll take your last. Is that 30 gigabytes Mac or 30 Windows? It's 30 Mac gigabytes, but that's the compressed size of the library for running in Contact. I'm not sure what it is in total, all those 5 libraries combined. But I'll take a few last minute questions. David wants the email again for winners. If you've won the $50 Impact SOUNDWORKS vouchers, then you want to be sending your email to thesamplecast@gmail.com. It'd be great to get your emails through quickly so I can start sending those out. And I will give away one more. And this time I think I will play one of the demos whilst I give this away. So I want your guesses for this. And it's a number between 1 and 1,000 as usual. And yeah, let's hear your guesses now. It's a demo for the Bansuri. Keep them guesses coming. Number between 1 and 1,000. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Stop guessing. I saw 2 that were guessing that were so close as we went through, so this might be down to the wire. Stop guessing. The number is 930. So K4 Music guessed 937 and somebody else guessed 927. So I think 927 is the closest. 927 is the closest. So that was Matthias Berger. Do email me at thesamplecast@gmail.com and I will send you through your prize. Matthias Berger, well done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Yeah, do consider picking this up if you've got a few spare dollars. Well, 150 spare dollars. That seems like a lot of money, but You're going to get a lot of use out of these. It's 5 libraries, loads of different performance techniques, all sorts of different articulations, phrases, songs, that kind of stuff. It's 30 gigabytes and 70% off. So click the link in the description below, have a little look. If you fancy sending me any questions about it or want to know anything else, I'm quite open to answering your queries as well offline. If I can and if I have time to, you can contact me at thesamplecast@gmail.com. I want to hear from those 5 winners as well. Make sure you email me quickly so that you can get those vouchers through. And thanks everybody for watching. And unless there's any other super important questions that I need to get to, I will sign off, and I might just give you a little blast of one of my other favourite demos of the Shakuhachi, I love that word, whilst I go. So yeah, cheers for joining me, and hopefully I'll be able to do some more of these live casts soon. The Samplecast show proper is, as I say, is suffering difficulties at the moment, or rather I'm suffering difficulties, and I have so much to do and various issues that it's really difficult for me to put shows together, because they do take over a day for each one to put together. But yeah, I can do these kind of more impromptu Samplecasts live streams from now and then, which are good fun, and hopefully I can give some stuff away and make you guys happy. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll sign off with this.